Let's go back to April 1987, when a bizarre incident occurred in a small mountain village in Sichuan. Xiaofang, the 18-year-old daughter of Old Man Zhang in the village, fell in love with a young man from the neighboring village. Old Man Zhang firmly opposed the marriage because the young man's family was poor. He locked Xiaofang in her room to prevent her from meeting the young man and accepted a betrothal gift from the village chief, intending to marry Xiaofang to the chief's son. However, the chief's son was a notorious local ruffian. Xiaofang refused to obey and wept all day. In despair, she hung herself from a beam in her room. By the time Old Man Zhang found her, Xiaofang's body had been stiff for a long time. Due to local customs, unmarried women could not be buried in the ancestral hall. With the help of villagers, she was buried in the mass grave on the back mountain. 7 days later, Old Man Zhang went to the back mountain with a bundle of joss paper. As he lit the paper, he suddenly heard harsh, scratching sounds from Xiaofang's grave. Then, the soil on the grave cracked, and a withered hand covered in green hair emerged from the crack. Old Man Zhang was so terrified that he collapsed to the ground, then scrambled to his feet and fled home. That night, strange things began to happen. Many villagers heard mournful howls from the back mountain at midnight. The next night, dogs in the east of the village became unusually restless, barking toward the back mountain all night. On the third day, 3 cows at Widow Li's house in the east were attacked and killed. At first, villagers thought it was wild beasts from the mountains and didn't pay much attention. But on the 4th night, an even more bizarre event occurred. When the village chief got up to use the toilet at midnight, he opened his door and saw a green-haired monster with disheveled hair, long fangs, and a terrifying appearance standing at his gate. The monster tore down the gate and charged at the chief. The chief ran back into the house, grabbed a shotgun, and fired at the monster, only to find the bullets had no effect. The chief's family hid in the cellar and survived until dawn, when the monster left after roosters crowed. The incident quickly spread through the village, causing panic. Villagers locked their doors early and avoided going out at night. Strangely, the monster did not reappear, but the village suffered a severe drought. No rain fell for 3 months. On the evening of July 15th, the village chief's son returned from hunting in the mountains. As he passed the mass grave, he heard strange noises and entered with his shotgun, only to see the long-disappeared monster standing in the middle of the grave, inhaling air toward the moon, surrounded by black smoke. What happened next was unknown, but when he returned home, he was driven mad, likely from severe shock. That night, the monster reappeared, attacking livestock and villagers. The next day, villagers gathered to discuss what to do. With several people missing and extensive damage, they debated the monster's identity. Widow Li suggested it might be a spirit beast, but others dismissed it, noting no local beast had green hair. A villager then proposed a connection to Xiaofang, recalling a legend that those who die violently retain resentful ki vital energy, which can transform them into hanba, a legendary drought-causing demon. The drought began after Xiaofang's death, leading them to suspect she had become a hanba. The village chief did not refute the idea, and the villagers decided to report the incident. Police searched the mountains but found no monster, only the bodies of missing villagers in a cave with bite marks of unknown origin. They ruled it a wild animal attack and left. However, more disappearances occurred nightly, prompting the chief to report again. This time, instead of police, agents from the 749 Bureau arrived. They instructed villagers to stay indoors with lights off that night, then headed to the mass grave. Villagers heard intense fighting and howls from the mountain that night, but no one knew what caused them. The next morning, the 749 Bureau agents announced the problem was solved and dismissed the hanba theory, claiming it was a mutated wild beast. After they left, bold villagers checked the grave and found the crack had sealed, with signs of a fierce battle. 3 days later, heavy rain fell, and life returned to normal. Whether the monster was truly Xiaofang turned hanba remains a mystery.